Shamans are back. Reviving their buds.
Oh, these goatmen aren't being revived. They're just getting poisoned.
Oh, yeah, that's just a little tidbit for you.
But the shamans, like, they could do some damage, too, if you weren't paying attention. And, like, you'd notice, hopefully, eventually, that, wait a minute, guys keep coming back. So look for the shaman who's resurrecting everybody. And I think they said at some point in the game there's the shaman who also resurrects shamans.
Yeah,
So
that was
it's
something
like
from Diablo 2. Was a legendary,
yeah.
legendary shaman in this one. But most of them can't do that,
Correct.
which is nice.
Because we would still be in the dungeon.
Yeah, we would still be
Killing
at
the same
Blizzard
ones.
trying to finish this demo. Ooh, loot.
Yeah, this game has loot.
Oh, we should mention that, yeah. We hinted earlier with the world boss, there's kind of shared world where you'll see other players that you're not in a party with, which is interesting. And we talked to him in an interview that's going up later this month about how they draw that line between this and a full MMO, you know, as they're introducing more stuff like that. And they definitely do see it as very distinct.
Which is interesting, because I got the Destiny vibe a little bit from this. Because
Yeah.
you're out in the open world, you see other people, other players who aren't your friends sometimes. But it's definitely not, like, as populated as an MMO, like a proper MMO.
Yeah.
Or a traditional MMO.
And dungeons, you won't see anybody still,
Right.
if they're not in your party.
But you can be with your squad, for sure, and tackle everything.
Yeah. We're hot off of BlizzCon right now.
Super hot.
Super hot. They showed that announced cinematic we got to see a little early
Oh
at
my
the
gosh,
studio.
The thing looks so good.
That was a very cool cinematic. That was the most finished cinematic I've ever gotten the warning that this isn't finished before, you know? Guys, don't judge too harshly on this gorgeous thing.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I'll know the difference once they actually show the finished version.
Yeah. Yeah, that cinematic's cool. And then you made the joke, Cork, that a year after that, everybody's just gonna be farming her for boots.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now, everyone thinks Lilith is very cool, which she is.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
a
the treasure goblin.
yeah.
Yeah. And you
And-
can't really tell. He's not, like, in Diablo 3, he was like a giggling buffoon. You can see, like, Diablo 4 is a little more grounded.
A little bit darker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a treasure goblin, but if you look at him, he's kind of... is a different silhouette
He's a little bit
as he's
faster.
getting beaten to death by 3 people.
Yeah. Just pulverized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that darker tone, we can talk about that a bit.
I like it. I mean, you can see it here. Oh, we're just getting bombed by enemies. But I think it's got a good look, which I really like.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
like
was-
the more Diablo 2 inspired.
I was worried they might do like a closer zoomed-in camera or something over the shoulder, but that top-down traditional style.
Was that a rumor?
There was I think that was like a thing they had experimented with
Uh-huh.
when they started 3 even.
Yeah. Like, how can we make this unplayable? I've got an
Yeah,
idea.
I got some ideas.
Yeah. Ben Hansen, God rest him, made the good point that this is kind of what they were pitching with Immortal, too. Was back to Diablo 2 style
Yeah.
lore, which for some reason people weren't excited about.
Yeah.
But I think it makes sense for them to take Diablo as a brand and make it stand out a bit more from their other stuff, a little less colorful. You know, it's its own aesthetic.
I do wonder if now that this is out and people can see it, if people will be more excited for Immortal. It's like, okay, you know what? One on my phone, I could also play that.
Yeah. I mean,
now that I
honestly,
know this is also a thing, yeah.
it just depends if Immortal's good, right? It could surprise everyone and be good.
Didn't seem that bad when I played it.
Oh, you played it?
Yeah, last year when we were out for the cover story, we got a chance to check it out.
All right, these treasure goblins are real pests.
We wanted to show Treasure Goblin getting away. We
Yep.
wanted to see what that looked like,
Yeah.
which obviously would never happen.
Yep, there you go.
So that'll be the only time you see that.
Right.
Yeah. And now we're headed to Garen Hold, which is the one high level area. We're level 19. This dungeon is for about level 25.
Right. And we'd asked while we were there, like, will you be able to, like, randomly, is there going to be a chance that the portal will remain open and you'll be able to go fight the aspect of greed and all that business? Or maybe will Whimsyshire be in the game? You know, and they're not answering those questions. But we did ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
cow level, and there's no cow level.
They were really cheeky about the cow level.
Waka waka.
Yeah, we can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
We couldn't customize skills or talents at all,
No.
which is too bad, because you can see there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot of good stuff though.
And obviously, crafting your own build is half the fun of the game. So I'm excited to actually be able to dig into those
And we
customizations.
should have a feature that's up too. A couple features just detailing all the skills and abilities from all three classes that we saw.
Yeah.
So check that out.
It's interesting. I don't know if we really highlight it here, but the evasion move is more of like pulling back while staying on your feet. You're not rolling around like Link in Ocarina of Time,
Yeah,
smashing through things.
but like Link in Ocarina of Time, there's just enough cooldown on it that it's not a faster way to get around
Right.
than just running.
If
It's
only
more of
there was
just
a faster way to get around.
I always like that. Whenever you can just like roll dash all over the place.
Leo, is there a faster way to get around it?
Oh, perfect setup for the horse. Glad you asked.
I always
Masterful.
liked it though.
Yeah, they got mounts now.
We did not see them, but I think in the one of the gameplay trailers they released with the announcement,
Right.
you do see the horse.
But we talked to them about them.
Yes, it's
they're
true.
they're more grounded. You know, you're not going to be driving around on a
Yeah.
motorcycle like
No.
WoW or whatever. They want it to be kind of medieval fantasy horses,
Right.
but with the fun of them is in item customization,
Right.
dressing them up and skills and
But
everything.
no unicorns.
No
or anything
unicorns.
either. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, Pegasi. They specifically said
Yeah.
no to that.
And they said that there'll be some kind of cool combat dismount, so you're not going to be fighting from
Yeah.
atop your mount.
You can also see that in the gameplay trailer. Again,
Yeah.
we didn't have the opportunity to do that, but each class would have their specific combat dismount.
I always liked Darksiders, calling the horses out in that, like the first couple of games where the horses would just come up out of the ground and you could jump right on them.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully it's like, we didn't see them mounting the horse, but I hope it's something like that where it's pretty quick.
Yeah, they said at this point they run in from off screen,
Right.
but they're not final on any of that. They're not final on a lot of this.
No.
They're still very early on.
Which is kind of how Blizzard rolls. They're always kind of like pretty open about, at least when I've interacted with them, pretty open about like, yeah, this is still in development, it could change. Very experimental, which I think ultimately makes the game better.
Yeah, for sure. We've been seeing lightning storms. That's a druid thing. That's their alt. These little lightning traps, that's a piece of loot that I have on the barbarian.
Yeah.
That's kind of spawns them randomly as I'm fighting. I almost got him with that one.
Yeah, these are the level 25 enemies that I was talking about.
The other thing about that impale move is that when it kills somebody, it resets the cooldown immediately. So it's good to use on little grunts
Yes.
that it'll one hit.
And that chandelier looks like it is perfectly placed to fall down and kill a bunch of enemies. They're still experimenting with traps. They weren't in this build. I think there's some
Yeah.
environmental damage that does look a lot like those wall-based traps that you would have seen in Diablo 3. But
Right.
If there's a hitman class,
yes.
that will handle those, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All about costumes.
Right.
But yeah,
cool
on that
thing-
subject, there are the three classes that we did see. They said that the game will ship with 5, but they're not talking about those. So
Right.
let your imaginations run wild.
And you can transmog items and stuff like that. They didn't show us that. But that's in the game. The cool thing is this is a random level, randomly generated. And I feel like the random generation is pretty good at this point.
I don't think
Where it
you'd guess
doesn't
it if you didn't
feel
know.
random, yeah.
Right. Garen Hold here was probably my favorite thing we did in our gameplay across each class. It was challenging in a way that was very satisfying.
Yeah, fun.
You have to actually keep an eye on your health and each other and the shamans since they're all over this place.
Yeah, these shaman are the ones that will resurrect.
Yeah, the
their
fallen shamans.
friends, the fallen. Which
Yeah.
we went to, like, Reeves, you and I both went back to Diablo 2 independently and played a little.
Yeah.
And I had completely forgotten about the fallen resing their friends. So, like, the first time that I killed somebody and then they, like, pop back up, it took me a minute. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, because that was
No, you're dead.
Which I go back and forth. I'm like, I kind of like it from a gameplay perspective because it makes you think like, oh, okay, I got to have some strategy on the battlefield.
Right.
I got to take this guy out before I take these guys out. But it is in the moment, it's kind of annoying. You're like, no, stop resurrecting these
Yeah.
guys.
I don't think they put it in there for you to like it.
No.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
But I think even though you hate it in the moment, like I think ultimately it adds to the fun. Like
Yeah.
you walk away from battle having enjoyed it more because you felt more engaged.
Yeah.
And they did say that they want to kind of think about that too with the families of monsters, like how they engage you and how they might require some creative thinking about how you approach different strategies to combat.
Yeah, something really interesting that they said in the interview was that Diablo is content multiplied by systems. And I think that's a fun way to look at it. And when they're building it from that perspective of they have the content of this open world,
Yeah.
all the dungeons within, and then all of these different varied ways that you can build your character.
Yeah.
They're building it to last a long, long time.
Yeah, and I mean, 3 lasted a while, so.
It still lasted.
And it's still around.
It's lasting right now.
It's still here. It's lasting.
You can last it when you're done watching this video.
That's right. Yeah.
I did walk away from our time with this, so I was like, man, I want to keep playing this version of it.
Yeah. Totally. And it was hard to reset and give up our characters to try the other classes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I've already become attached to this.
Especially when you play as the druid.
Something else interesting they talked about is the de-emphasis on sets, which are a big thing in Diablo 3. More about specific legendary items. Or mythic items, new rarity.
Yes. Oh. And there we did it.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it!
Hey, we should do this again with some other classes. How
Why
about
don't we
that?
do the Sorceress this Wednesday on
Okay.
GameInformer.com and YouTube.com/GameInformer?
Sounds great. Bye.
Thank you for watching.